How's it going, everyone? Jiraiya Gibbon here. Welcome back to another episode of my Jiraiya's Topic Wednesdays. And this week I wanted to talk about, something that I thought I haven't really touched on. Now, I know you guys have heard me talk about, you know, people's feelings and, are guys too soft or people in general too soft and so forth, etc. And a lot of people, I remember when I did this topic, had their own opinion on it, which we all respect everyone's opinion. Who felt like people are too soft these days, and some people feel like people are not. Now, I remember distinctly saying that, what I concluded was the fact that certain things throughout your lifetime does become, or your journey in life, however you want to look at it, does become more of a problem to you the older you get. Whereas, being a younger person, it didn't bother you too much. The reason why I brought it up is that I know us as men don't necessarily take the time to talk to people or talk to someone rather about our feelings. Whereas you can have females have their little circle and they can talk to each other, express themselves. A female have a little friend they can call up and talk and kind of vent about what's going on. Not necessarily what's going on in their relationship, because sometimes they do, but sometimes, they may be a little wiser knowing that you don't say certain things about the relationship, because then other people come in and may even help destroy the relationship that you're in. So if it comes to that, then that's something where you should definitely try to seek the help of a pastor or a counselor or whatever your religion is, whatever you believe in, whatever you want, or outside force you want to help with your marriage, relationship, and so forth, etc. I always suggest not waiting until it gets really bad to then go looking for help. At the sign of where you think things may not be going like it needs to, you can always find a counselor, because it definitely helps and it can definitely set you, in the right direction, where you don't necessarily have to deal with what comes after things start going down the wrong path and continue to get worse. For example, if you feel like I'm not getting this from my husband, and I feel like I might end up going outside of the relationship and cheat, then before it gets to that point, talk to your husband about it. Tell him, hey, you know what, we need to go to counseling, so you can avoid that happening, because that's just going to make the situation even worse. Now, again, one of the things I want to talk about is pertaining to me as well. And just so some of you guys know, a lot of the things I talk about and topics that I talk about, I've experienced myself. And if I haven't experienced it, I've met someone or know someone that have experienced it. Anything else besides that, I always do my research and so forth, etc., before I get into it. But sometimes I talk from experience and so forth, etc. Now, obviously, one person's experience doesn't make everything and everybody experience the same. So keep that in mind, which is one of the reasons why I always say in my videos, from my experience and fellow people that I know and friends' experience, this is what I know normally happens. That's why I always make sure I emphasize in that, because I want to make sure you guys know it's just from my experience or people around me or what I've seen, but not necessarily from everyone's experience, because everyone's experience is different. Now, I've just recently uploaded a video pretty much explaining to you guys what's been going on with me and so forth over the course of these past few months. In fact, this has been going on for a long time, since 2012 actually. I know I've mentioned this before a long time, that one of the reasons why I made my channel was to pretty much help deal with a slight depression, I would guess to say. Just, with certain things that was going on in my life and reaching my family members, i.e. my dad. And so my dad has been sick since 2012, got pretty bad in 2013 when he first had a stroke, so forth, etc. I was dealing with all of that, and to deal with all that anger and, hate, I don't know what you want to call it. I had to do something to kind of take away some of that pain and so forth. I had to kind of invest my time into something, so I wouldn't just, constantly think about it. And what I did was created, of course, my gaming channel and so forth, etc., which helped a lot, because I met a lot of you guys, spoke to you guys, did videos, you guys enjoyed it. And it was, entertaining for me. It was never something I looked at as saying, oh, I want to be super big on YouTube or make money off of it or whatever. It was something that was helping me deal with the issues that I had going on and still have till this day. Now, My father is no longer here. He recently passed away, early this year, or actually, 2 months ago, if you want to say that. But you guys pretty much get my point. Now, what I didn't deal with, even though I always try to help people the best way I can, was seek help for myself. You always hear as a kid that you need to be tough and you need to be a man, especially for guys. We get the dirty end of the stick, and everyone feels like guys needs to be tough and macho and so forth, etc. And we can't cry and we can't show our feelings and we can't express ourselves how we feel at that moment, or else it may come off as being too feminine, or they may label you as being, gay, or whatever the case may be. Now, with that said and out of the way, I feel like it's an unfair insight for guys. It's an unfair treatment for guys, and one of the reasons why suicides are so high amongst men. And again, even the topic that I recently did too as well, why women live longer than men, and so forth, etc. Because we tend to hold everything in. It eats us up. We tend to sometimes get abusive in relationship, even though we didn't come from that background, because of the simple fact that we have all this anger that we hold in. And when you're angry and you have all this anger build up, who do you normally take it out on? Your closest loved ones. And therefore, that's what leads into, of course, a buildup of abusive relationships, guys being physical with their wives, their girlfriends, and so forth, etc., which is something that shouldn't necessarily happen. Now, let me rephrase that, which is something that shouldn't happen. Now, the reason why I said shouldn't necessarily happen is because, like I said, a lot of guys do tend to hold things in and feel like because they're a man, because they're a guy, and they have to be the strong person for their household, for their wife, their kids, and so forth, etc. We can't shed tears. We just have to hold it in and deal with it. And for the longest, I dealt with all of that. I've had so many family members that passed away, and I would hop in my car, go somewhere, shed a little tears, and wipe my eyes. My family member say, "Hey, you cried?" No, I'm not. You try to be the macho guy and not let certain things out. And what it does, it only hurts you in return. You're only hurting yourself in return. And sometimes it can go as far as where you end up hurting people that are around you. And, who knows? It may be where you can't even come back from it. It may be you're in a relationship or marriage and you hurt your wife or someone, your kids or something, and it creates even a bigger issue. A bigger issue. Imagine you put your hands on your wife, you beat her up, or you hit her and she called the cops. Then what happened? Now you have an abusive, background added to your record. They may even go as far as pressing charges. And you understand where that goes. Now your kids can't stay with you. Now the house is being separated. Your kids are suffering for it, and you in general are suffering for it, because then you never forgive yourself for not not being an abusive person ever. Especially if you've been in a relationship for a long time. Say you're in a relationship for 10 years and you've never put your hands on a woman, your wife, anyone. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, something just tick you off and you go off. And you end up, grabbing your wife and putting her hands on her, or your girlfriend and putting her hands on them. Nothing real abusive, but, you may, slap her in the face or put your hand in the face or whatever, or hold her by, her neck or her throat, and then catch yourself. That can be devastating for your family, for the relationship, for the kids if they saw it, or even just hear it. For you as an individual, knowing that in yourself, deep down, you're not a woman beater, you're not a, abusive husband. And what happened was just something that just happened because you were trying to be the man, the wrong image of what a man should be in general that society plans for you. And instead, what you do is you end up hurting and destroying what's, dear to you. And the point of me bringing this up, guys, is for us as men, we need to do better as far as expressing ourselves, talking to our wives, talking to our girlfriends, talking to our mom, whoever it is that you have as a close person that you can talk to and confine, all your emotions and feelings. And even if you don't want to talk to a family member, because sometimes you don't want to bring family members in your relationship if whatever is going on. then seek out free counseling, because there are definitely plenty of free counseling and so forth, etc., that you can definitely get into and have someone help you with what's going on, versus letting it get to that point. And I feel like this is something a lot of guys don't necessarily try to take advantage of. And to be quite frank, a lot of guys don't necessarily even think about or understand, because their dads probably never taught them about it. My dad never taught me about that. So I can definitely say that the same. All I've ever learned is to be, a macho man. Now, don't get me wrong, my dad have taught me many other things as far as being a man and so forth, etc., but never to the point where you're supposed to let your feelings out and so forth, etc. It wasn't until later, you know, in my life that I learned these things, and understood the meaning of what it takes to be a real man, and what it means to be a man that also cares and understand. Just think about, if you're someone that's always hard and macho and stuff, how can you understand a woman who is so fragile? Your wife, you know your daughter, your girlfriend, and so forth, etc. How can you truly understand their feelings and understand how they feel if you can't even get in touch with your emotional side, so to speak? It's food for thought. It's definitely something to think about. And I just, wanted to talk about it, just kind of express a little bit. I went through the same thing. So I just wanted to kind of express it with you guys. For the longest, I bottled everything in, and it kind of just exploded of the simplest of little things, and I had to end up getting help for myself, which I'm doing now, especially with my dad just passed and so forth, etc. I have a lot of anger and hate build up for, even for family members that was doing them dirty and so forth, that I found out about. I mean, there's a lot of things that went on, and so you have to realize to let go of the hate, to let it out, deal with it, and move on, because it does nothing but hurt yourself. The point is, guys, like I've stated again, is to make sure that you're doing what's best for you and your family. Not what society says is best for you and your family. Not what people say is best for you and your family. Do what you feel is best for you and your family, your girlfriend, and for yourself. Because at the end of the day, nobody else can take care of you better than you can take care of yourself. With that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys did, be sure to let me know in the comment section what your guys' thoughts are on. Be sure to leave a like on the video, share the videos with everyone you think may enjoy the video. And of course, guys, as always, I'm your host, Jiraiya Gaming. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.